How's it going, you glorious rascallion bastards? The name's FOXSOL. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. And in today's video, we're going to take the time to sit down and discuss basically my point of view of why Wuthering Waves is better than ZZZ. And the only reason why I am making this video is because someone made a 5-minute video doing the opposite of basically why is, ZZZ better than Wuthering Waves. And this is going to be more of a response video to my own points of view of ZZZ, because I had a chance to play ZZZ for a little bit. I did enjoy it to a certain degree, but I just found it wasn't for me. And I'm just going to make those points for myself, the reason why it wasn't for me. And yeah, let's do the response and then let's get into my points. So first and foremost, like I said, I've watched a 5-minute video, and in this 5-minute video, I will be probably posting this video as a comment response to it, and as well going ahead and putting a link to their video in the description below about what they stated. So that way you guys have the context of what I'm talking about for anyone who's interested. But they hit a couple of different key points that I want to discuss, which was basically the difficulty, the game's playtime, the game's dailies, how, Wuthering Waves is just a different flavor of Genshin Impact, which, to some of these effects, I do agree with. I won't lie. But I feel like, the answer needs to be a little bit more clear, because not saying that there's misinformation here, but I do see that there is some issues with the statements that was made. So starting off with, straight up, is a difficulty of basically ZZZ is more difficult than Wuthering Waves. I'm gonna say it like this. Wuthering Waves is a game that legitimately you can wail out in this game, and I haven't really wailed out, but I do have a bunch of summon 6 characters that are level 90, that has good echoes, the skill tree is pretty much already maxed out, and does tons of fucking damage. But yet in a lot of different areas that I go into, a lot of different bosses and a lot of different enemies that I face, that don't mean shit. You're fighting some tanky ass motherfuckers that legitimately can one-shot your ass still, even with a good fucking build. Wuthering Waves, in my personal opinion, it's not, as easy as it's being claimed to be. I'm going to say that when it comes to ZZZ, from what I've seen, because I haven't experienced it enough to get into that part to really make that proper judgment. From what I've seen, though, it looks like when it comes to content creators and such that wail out, that they go wail out and boom, they're blowing through the game and it's easy as shit. I'm going to say it straight up. Like, I feel like that is one thing about ZZZ versus Wuthering Waves. I don't think that there is truly a skill gap. Could be wrong, though. I mean, I can honestly probably be wrong because, I never really experienced it. I'm just giving you a non-biased, point of view of what I've seen. I've seen some things that, yeah, they do look a little difficult, but, I think that, a little wailing probably solves that problem. And that's where, in Wuthering Waves, wailing does not solve a problem. It helps, but it doesn't solve the problem. I'm just saying, okay? It doesn't solve the goddamn problem, man. So take what you want from that. When it comes to the next statement, they stated like, oh, if I want to play another Genshin flavored game, I'm tired of it. They're tired of playing another Genshin flavored game. So basically comparing Wuthering Waves to Genshin Impact. Now, let's be honest here, okay? Let's be completely honest. Yes, Wuthering Waves is a Genshin Impact clone, okay? And they're claiming that there's no uniqueness to it, which I'm going to say that is dead fucking wrong, okay? I think that in all honesty, Wuthering Waves has its very own unique style comparatively to that of Genshin Impact. So if you're, I'll put it like this. When Genshin Impact first came out, I was told, hey, play some Genshin Impact. You're gonna like it, you're gonna like it. I played Genshin Impact for probably a month. And there was a lot of it that the game was just, in my personal opinion, Genshin Impact was just so fucking simplified that legitimately it wasn't fun to me. And that's something that where Wuthering Waves, you know, has fixed in my regards as an open world game. Like, I felt like Genshin Impact was just more of a annoying bootleg version of Breath of the Wild. Why am I playing this when Breath of the Wild feels, you know, better? I hate to say it that way, but that's basically the truth of this matter on that. That's the truth of the story. So all I'm going to say when it comes to it in that regards is, yeah, I do believe that, you know, it is the same. In retrospect, it is a copy of it, but the uniqueness of this is the combat. The uniqueness of this is the story. You know, I haven't watched much of the story. I'll be honest there. Some of the story, it's a little lackluster. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit of a bore fest, but there is some good moments in this story that just, I feel, outdoes Genshin. It really does. And to go ahead and just say, oh, well, this is a Genshin Impact clone. Yeah, you could say that, but still, man, like, this game has things that separates itself from Genshin, in my personal opinion. And first and foremost is the combat. Like we just stated, it's the combat that really truly does it. The characters in here, I feel, are more memorable and not all over the goddamn place like Genshin Impact. And legitimately, it feels more like a mature game than Genshin Impact. Now, I'm not saying that ZZZ is not a, you know, a mature style game, but I do have some issues with some of the characters that's in that game. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? I'm just going to leave it at that. That I feel like the game's still a little too cutesy, if you get my drift. When it comes down to his next point in this video, he's talking about playtime, okay? That Wuthering Waves basically takes, according to him, like Genshin Impact, like 20 to 30 minutes to do dailies, compared to them doing ZZZ dailies, which takes like 30 seconds. I got two problems with this. First and foremost, it does not take, I don't care who you are, it does not take no 30 minutes for me to do my goddamn dailies. All right. At most, I think it takes me 10 minutes. And that depends on whether or not I'm scratching my ass at the same time or not. Okay. Like, I get done with dailies roughly around like 5 to 6 minutes. And that's the guidebook. Like, in all honesty, like, look in the guidebook real quick, right? Go spin 180 waypoints. Go collect 5 materials. Complete cooking once. 1 daily quest. Now, the daily quest can take a little bit longer. It depends on what you get. It's completely random. You may get the one like they're stating, like the old man with the flowers. You got to go teleport yourself to the flowers. Go pick the flowers. Go back to the old man and do a drop-off quest. Yeah, that happens. But everything else, that's 40 points. You can still do cooking. Simulation challenge. Defeat an enemy, spin 180 waypoints, absorb an echo, collect 5 materials, perform intro skill. This right here, to get 100 activity points does not cost shit. The only thing is you need to do the daily really just so that way you could do the battle pass, which is the pioneer cast right here, because it does require for, you know, login, and I think it depends. Okay, I think it's like weekly or whatever. You gotta do like 5 or so dailies. So you gotta complete 3 dailies. So you got a week to do 3 daily missions. I mean, come on. It ain't gonna take me no 30 minutes to do goddamn dailies. You only gotta do 3 of those. You don't have to do them every single day. You just need to get yourself 100 points and to get your XP and everything else, your rewards for the day. That's it. And roughly, like I said, it may take me 4 to 5 minutes. And legitimately, that is my investment period. That is where I feel like, you know, the game actually values my time. Whereas hearing that it takes you 30 seconds to do your dailies in a game kind of feels like ZZZ doesn't have anything really to give you, if that makes sense. Like, kind of feels like they might be lacking on content. Not saying that they are, but I'm just saying it just seems weird to me, because I feel like, you know, any game there is where it's an RPG or a grind style game, there should be more to it than that. Just saying. So, yeah, I'm going to correct that one when it comes down to, you know, the playtime and the dailies like that. And he also made a comment that, you know, he's played more time in Wuthering Waves probably than some others out there. And he's level 50. And I'll go on to tell you, you know, that's great and all, but, you know, I'm level 62, man. I'm still grinding this game. I'm still having fun. And the higher level, the higher the ascension is, the more rewards you get, the more rewarding it gets. And you know what? The more difficult the game actually becomes. It legitimately does become, the more you grow in that union level. So if you're just staying at 50 and not really doing much, then you're not really fully probably experiencing the actual game then in the same taste. Just saying. So let's get now to my opinion about ZZZ, if you would. Okay, what I honestly believe about ZZZ and how I feel about it. Okay, and straight up, like, look, I'm gonna say this: I played Zenless Zoneless for like 3-4 days maybe, and I don't think it's a bad game. I really don't. I think it's a decent game. I think it's a good game, but you know, I feel like, you know, the investment in ZZZ compared to Wuthering Waves, I feel like it's worth more my time investing in Wuthering Waves in the long run. ZZZ feels like, you know, the casual game approach. It feels like Devil May Cry Peak of Combat. You're here for 5 minutes, you do this, and then in reality, once you do everything, what else is there to do? You know, there's no open world, which, you know, some people might not like the open world, and I understand that. You might not like the open world, that's fine. But I do feel like Wuthering Waves offers a more value from my exploration, from the side quests and everything else, the chests, collecting chests, explorations, all this stuff, compared to that of, you know, ZZZ, where, you know, it's like there's no actual need to put in an effort. You know, there's no real effort in the case regards. Hold on, I'm fucking up right here because I'm talking at the same time. Yeah. All right. Got him. We need to go heal up. And the easiest way to do that is switch my team back out to the normal team. Yay. Sorry, Inland, you're out for now, girl.
Endless reverberation.
But, yeah, I mean, the thing is that out of the few days I played ZZZ, Wuthering Waves, when I first played it, I guess it's just, I'll put it like this. I felt like it was worth more my time to invest in that game than it felt like me doing ZZZ. Like, ZZ didn't feel like it was worth, my time was worth investing. Whereas in Wuthering Waves, it honestly feels rewarding to play this and grind and build up to prepare for Chang Li and simp for the baby, for my baby girl. Talking about characters now, like Chang Li, I'll say it like this. In ZZZ, my personal opinion is that none of the characters in there appeal to me. I feel like they're one-trick gimmick characters that is all over the place. I think that, like, legitimately the only character that I probably even give two shits about in that game probably would be Ben, the bear. Like, I think he's the only one that looks cool enough. You have Billy the Kid or whatever that legitimately all he is Deadpool. He's a bootleg version of Deadpool. The rest of the characters completely feel crazy and all over and out of the place, and legitimately these are like the animes I've seen that like just go completely nuts, that honestly is so confusing that I honestly don't understand how they're in the same world. And as fun as it may be for some people, it's just not fun for me. You know, I don't have an appeal for these characters, as well as I feel like there's too many lolly characters in this game that, you know, don't appeal to me, and that's just how it is. So I'm just gonna say that, you know, when it comes to it, character-wise does not draw me into the game. When we're gonna get into the gameplay and combat, you know, of ZZZ, another reason why I don't really like ZZZ, in all honesty, yeah, it's kind of based on fighting games. I see that. But one of my biggest problems, and it's probably going to be the dumbest problem that anyone's going to hear about, but there's no jump button. Yo, I'm sorry, man. Like, when I'm playing a high action, you know, game that feels like it should be like Metal Gear Rising, Devil May Cry, it feels like a fighting game. I'm expecting to have a jump button. Okay. The only thing that I'll give ZZZ that I think that Wuthering Waves I wish had is a dedicated parry button. That dedicated parry button in ZZZ is brilliant. And I wish that Wuthering Waves had that. I will be 100% honest. But overall, I think the game is flashy. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a little too flashy for my taste. And it's just not very appealing to me because like, look, I play Soul Leveling Arise, same issue, no jump button, and I even complain about that, you know. I feel like if you're gonna have a action-based game that is, like I said, Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Rising, whatever, and you're gonna be doing parries and stuff like this, I should have another way of dodging, and that should be jumping, straight up. Not being forced to doing 2 dodges and that's it. Here in Wuthering Waves, I have the ability where I can do 2 dodges, a jump, and then even a grapple, you know, to use as a way of maneuvering myself. I feel that there's just lack of momentum in that game when it comes to it, maneuvering. Difficulty wise, like we already stated before, I'll just simplify it. I think that there is some parts in ZZZ that probably is difficult. But again, I think that if you just straight up whale in the game, you'll probably be perfectly fucking fine. Whereas if you straight up whale in Wuthering Waves, you're kind of fucked. You know, it's going to help, but it's not going to help you tremendously. All right? Like, that is the one thing. Skill is what matters in all this. And in ZZZ, you know, I've seen people who have summoned basic 6 characters in there, you know, maxed out, best builds, the person's weapon and everything, and they're dominating the shit out of that game like nobody's business compared to, you know, someone who has like 1 summon. And that just tells me, you know, the game is pretty much good. It's rewarding for whales. Whereas Wuthering Waves, it's going to help, but even free-to-play players could be doing the same shit, you know, with their teams and getting the same results because it's skill-based. Just gonna say it. So just to end this video, I guess, and those are my key points so far, and just to basically get to the end of this video and make this, because I didn't want it to be this long, but it's going to be this long, is I'll say it like this. When it comes to ZZZ, I think it is a good game. I don't think it's a game for me, personally. Comparing to Wuthering Waves, I think Wuthering Waves is more for me than that of ZZZ. However, I will also state that both these games are completely different in the aspect of what they provide. Okay, so why we're even comparing the two, I have no clue. But like I said, this was a response video. The way I'm going to put it is that, you know, one game is a linear style game. There's no open world. You go in, you go do your stuff. You're good. You're done for the day. Whereas the other one, you have to do exploration. You have to invest more. It's this open world, you know, and it's based on investment versus basing on casualness. ZZ is based on being a casual player, whereas, you know, Wuthering Waves is based on investment. The more you invest in your characters, the more you invest in your echoes, the more you build, the more rewarding you get. I'm not saying that ZZ, it might not be rewarding, but I feel like Wuthering Waves does have that, you know, beat. And then, you know, honestly, to me, characters are more appealing, story's more appealing, gameplay is more appealing. Like I said, I have a jump button, bro. I have a grappling hook, man. I can fucking be all over the place. I can jump, woo, all around a boss, man. I can be dodging. I know. Just fine. So, Too Long Don't Read version of this is pretty much look, the way I look at ZZZ and the way I look at Wavered Waves is straight up is I find that, you know, ZZZ is a casual game. It is made for people who want to spend 5 minutes or less playing the game, where Wuthering Wave is going to require a commitment to play. That's basically where it comes into. So think of it like in a relationship. ZZZ is your one night stand that you can have every other night, and you know you be good, you be satisfied. Whereas Wuthering Waves requires you to have a goddamn fucking relationship, like a woman. All right, it requires you to actually have investment into it to actually make it worth your while. And legitimately having that relationship with Wuthering Waves has been truly a great experience for me. And I really don't want to have that one night stand. That's all. So tell me your thoughts down below in the comments below. I will be, like I said, posting up this here shortly and putting it up to a response to a video, and I will be putting that video in the description below. So if you're at this part of the video and either you agree or disagree, I don't care. You go ahead and tell me your thoughts down below. Let's have a conversation. I don't mind. I like conversation. I like debating. Tell me what I'm wrong about with ZZ. Tell me if I'm right about what I'm talking about with ZZ. I want opinions. But until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side, and I'll see you later. Peace!